I see keeping that heart rate down, keeping your breathing nice and slow. Oh, you're a good fucking liar. So there's a drug war popping off.
Maybe. You want to check it out?
Yeah, I'll be right there.
You know, I had a thought. I was like, what if we would have had like Saxe and Whitman? Like, what if those two men was actually alive and they was with Carter? Because so far, I am liking Carter's character, Detective Don Carter. Like, he's doing some really good work here. Because I seen the trailer as well, right, about him, showing up at Monet's apartment or showing up at her house, and he's just like, so where did you get the drugs from? And she's not saying anything, so he's like, all right, keep playing stupid. And then he pulls the gun out on Diana. So I was like, you see that shit? You see that? You see, he's doing some fun work right here. I just wish that this would have been the same treatment they would have done with Zion instead of, what they're about to do to him. So I was like, damn. But Carter, yeah, he's doing like some really fun work, because the sneakiness and the boldness from Saxe, giving Carter information, and then Whitman that was already going down that path anyway. I think they would have made like a very, very good team, because you got to think about everybody from the original law enforcement, and everybody who tried to bring down the St. Patrick family obviously failed or ended up dying, right? Or just being removed from the case in general, or just simply leaving because they was just like, we failed, we tried, it's over, game over, right? And we eventually should get some more information and backstory to like Carter as to why he wanted James St. Patrick so badly, because I mean, it only makes sense that maybe during like the past, maybe like the task force, some of his friends that tried to go after the St. Patricks maybe ended up dead, or they eventually had to leave. He made the whole department look bad because he was basically running circles on every single one of them, and it made the police department and law enforcement look stupid because James St. Patrick was like 10 times smarter than everybody else and 10 steps ahead of everybody else. So I don't know, it's a lot of these things that's kind of like lead up to his confrontation with Tariq, because again, Tariq doesn't probably know who he's really dealing with. I mean, despite Davis giving him like the warning and the heads up, like, yeah, he's a decorated officer with a lot of connections. So it's like Tariq is gonna have a big fight to deal with, like regarding like Carter. But again, I like what they're doing with him so far, because he's what I like, and he's not taking no for an answer. He's bold. Now, my only problem is, right, because it's only season 4. My only problem is I want him to last a little bit longer. Now, granted, the other power shows that we're getting, I highly doubt he's gonna like survive this season. I highly doubt that. I think he's gonna probably die. I would have maybe had him in maybe season 3, to be honest, because I think we should have probably built him up just to like a little bit more, because I'm liking his character more. And I think that if they would have built him up just a little bit more, half of the things Tariq probably would have been doing, he would have had to figure a way or a countermeasure on doing it, because Carter, again, he's like, nah, I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm not doing this and that. Like, nah, I'm going to be much more blunt and more forceful about how he handles his situation. Now, also too, let me know in the comment section down below, do y'all think that Carter and Noma will have like any sort of like interaction with each other? Because the one thing I wanted to talk about here as well is that when Whitman was alive, Whitman only had like a grudge against the Tejada family. I mean, sure, when Kamal was, really invested in like the, Tariq St. Patrick, like, yeah, we got to get him too. But at the time, like, yeah, Whitman was like, sure, but he wasn't really fully interested in Tariq like that. It was always Monet and the Tejada family, because again, him and Carrie did have like a thing for one another back in the days, and that was his whole motivation for going after the going after Monet, because and the Tejada family, because it was like, well, he believed that she had something to do with like Carrie's death, and he was gun ho on trying to like bring down Monet. So I think that ultimately, like, the forces would have aligned it if Whitman and Saxe would have been alive to like join up with Carter. But then again, it's like, I think well, then again, like the question would be as well because Carter's a dirty cop, so it's like, would they still align with it? Now, again, Saxe was already dirty. He was going to go down that line and rabbit hole anyway when he sent out the whole letters and he was just lying and sending out, shots from the grave. So I think Saxe probably would have went along with it more. Whitman made it probably would have. No, I wouldn't say it would have taken it. Well, okay, it probably would have maybe taken him a little bit of convincing, but ultimately, I think Carter and Whitman. I mean, not Carter Whitman. I think Whitman and Saxe both would have been like with Carter. I believe. I think so. I think so. I think they probably would have made like a very good team, in my opinion, to try to like bring down, Tariq. I believe so because I think ultimately Saxe probably would have wanted Tariq in handcuffs. I don't know. Again, we don't know with Carter's like motivation is like we don't know if he wants him in prison or he wants him dead. But we know Saxe wanted Tariq in handcuffs. Whitman, same thing. I think he would have wanted Monet in handcuffs. Maybe arrested the entire Tejada family, had them all in handcuffs. So I think ultimately their two goals would have been for them to be in handcuffs. But for Carter's case, again, we don't know. We don't know if it would have been in handcuffs or not, and we still don't know what he wants from Tariq. Either it be in handcuffs or he wants to kill him, right? Because like I said before, I think he still probably would have wanted to kill James St. Patrick, and I think because since Ghost died, he missed out on the opportunity of him killing Ghost, and he probably wanted to like take out Ghost or whatever. Because I'm still curious as to as well as to why he wanted him gone or some sort of like grudge he had against Ghost. So again, all of this is kind of like play up into like the end and what they're gonna do. But I just wanted to talk about like the things that I like so far with like Carter. Like he's like that trailer I was watching, I said, man, this guy got it. Like he got something about him. Unfortunately, he's not gonna last that long. I know that. I know he's not gonna last that long, but he got it. He got it. Unfortunately, my man Zion, they gonna clip his ass real soon. But for Carter, yeah, he has that aura about him, and I believe something is gonna probably happen where he probably might end up killing Kamal, and Rashard Tate is gonna probably have to show up and be like, "Yo, what happened to my brother? What happened?" And he's gonna probably make up something. Well, I think Tariq has something to do with it, and I don't know. And then Rashard's gonna probably reach out to Tariq and be like, "Did you have my brother killed? Did you do something? I know you. I know you and your crooked family." Like, no, seriously, that had nothing to do with me. I think your brother was caught in the crossfires with Carter. Carter's crazy. I don't know. I don't know. And shit, I was also thinking too. Now this probably might be me going a little bit above or off script or saying this, but I was gonna say that if because I mean Rashard doesn't really have a problem with working with Tariq, and I think this probably might be Tariq's maybe way in. If I don't know, like if Rashard and him work together and they may take down Carter together. That's what I'm thinking. I'm strongly leaning on that. Like they probably might take him down together, and then the person that might kill him either might be Eva Monet, Drew, or Tariq. Right. I'm thinking because it might be either or in those situations because we do know Kamal Tate is probably going to end up dead somehow because it's seeming is going to like allude to that as well. I think so. But like I said before, Carter's on an amazing run right now. I love his character. I love what's going on right now. But I don't know. But let me know in the comment section down below on what do you guys think about the whole idea on if Saxe and Whitman would have been alive, and how that whole story and scenario would have played out if they would have been on the same team with each other. Because I was looking at this YouTuber, I think his name is It's Just B, and that whole story that he did about I guess like the what if story of how Power should have ended with like Ghost and the things that happened. Yo, I was looking at it because he was explaining a little bit about it. I was like, oh, okay. I can't wait for him to like release the rest of it, but looking good so far. I like that idea what he was doing. I said, shit, all right. Also, one more thing before I get out of here. So, the one thing I forgot to talk about in my Zion video about the wasted potential was also Junior Valdez, because the thing is, I agree with y'all, because it's like you built up Junior in the last season to being like, okay, he's gonna probably try to like go after Tariq, and I think he would have been another person that would have been also interesting to being on like Carter's team. I'm telling you, you would have had like a crazy super team, because you would have had Saxe, Whitman, and then the addition of having like Junior Valdez or Agent Young or whatever, right, on the team. I think it would have been interesting, because I think the dynamics of what they would have had on, for Tariq, where again, because Tariq and Agent Young had like that brief stint in the lobby, in the parking lot, I should say. And it was just like, oh, he was throwing up Angela and Ghost, and he was like, I know what you did, and this and that. Like, I think the dynamic would have been interesting, and I think the mole on that team probably would have been Agent Young, because I mean, I think he probably would have seen how dark Carter was gonna get, and I think he probably would have wanted to do things the right way instead of doing things the wrong way. So I think being on a team with like a bunch of crooked people, I wouldn't necessarily would have said it would have made him turn crooked or not. I think he would have been the only good one. Well, him and Kamal, I should say, would have been the only good one. And I think if they're going to do the story where I think they're going to probably do, where if Kamal dies, then I think if Junior was still alive, I think the perfect opportunity would have been to have Kamal still die, if it's gonna happen or not. But we assuming it's gonna probably happen. Like, have Kamal die, but then Junior is the one who's like, he sees what's happening, and I think he makes like the ultimate call on betraying the team for Tariq, right? Because he doesn't want to do it that way. He wants to do it the right way. So I think it would have been an interesting dynamic on both like Junior and Tariq's path to being like, well, I still want to take you down, but I want to do things like the right way. Because again, like I said before, they had like a little interaction with each other, but it wasn't really what we kind of like, because we wanted more from it rather than just like, oh, Tariq shoots him and then that's it. But no, I think if they would have done it that way, it would have been far more interesting to being like, well, now that he's basically saved Tariq, I don't know, like maybe Tariq owes him one. Maybe he can give him like something bigger. I don't know. It could have been something also what they could have done with like Junior Valdez's character as well, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that they sort of like messed up on, because again, Zion was like a missed opportunity. Agent Young or Junior, right, was also another missed opportunity. And I know some of y'all also said too that Carter is also sort of like a waste as well, because he's just going to be another character that's going to die. I do agree with y'all on that, but it's like so far they're presenting him strong. They're presenting him much more stronger than they are doing with Zion, in my opinion, because Zion seems like he's going to get clipped soon. So they're presenting Carter like much more stronger than Zion. So he is, I can agree, like he is probably going to be like a wasted character, but then at the same time he isn't, because he's presented strongly. Now, again, I would have preferred him to like be in season 3 to like build it up much more, but I guess we're not going to get that at all. Well, we didn't get that at all. We just going to get this guy that's going to be really cool and do like these, damning things, and then after that, that's going to be it, and he's going to most likely get clipped and shit. But again, like I said, there's a lot of things that they sort of like wasted on, but I think Agent Young or Junior would have been a perfect candidate to being on Carter's team to try like going after Tariq. And I think it would have been really interesting for him to like really turn and be like, nah, it's getting dirty around here, it's getting crazy. Because imagine if, I don't know, him and Kamal is in a shootout or whatever with Carter's corrupted team, and Kamal gets killed or whatever, and Junior has to like make a tough call here, and he sides with Tariq for like a little bit. I don't know. Like I said, it would have been really, really interesting. But again, it is what it is, right? But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Catch you all next one.